I got this partially because I wanted it, but also partially in prep for Rise of the Beasts. That movie got delayed, probably due to COVID, because a lot of countries are still struggling with that, and CGI issues or whatever. It's not uncommon, so I'm not too concerned about it. If anything, this delay will probably make the movie better, so I'm here for it, and I'm totally happy to wait. Scourge from G1 was a man with a beard who turned into a flying American football. Did not make sense at all. This Scourge is from RID 2001, and I much prefer this design for the character. Yeah, it's just Nemesis Prime but with blue accents and called Scourge, but it's still really cool. He also has a character. Nemesis doesn't normally get character development in a lot of the shows or movies he's in, which is a shame because I'd love like an Optimus-Nemesis relationship like Superman and Bizarro. But Scourge has a whole wealth of character that I don't remember because it's been years since I've seen RID 2001. Scourge is slated to be the main villain for the upcoming Transformers film, and I'm so looking forward to that. I love how they're bringing new characters like this into the movies as main characters, like Lockdown, Dropkick, now Scourge, Nightbeat. So I'm really looking forward to that. But on to the actual toy. This was Fanshobby's first toy, and it feels very different from any of their other offerings. This thing looks so good. It's a Masterpiece styled RID Scourge, and it's freaking massive. Like, it's a big, heavy toy. He doesn't have a lot in the way of paint, but it's really not necessary because all he really needs are those blue details because they look spectacular. The whole figure just looks amazing. It's a big and chunky block of stuff that looks amazing. I do really like how clean the pinstriping is, the blue pinstriping along the sides and the top of the truck. It's very well done because it's tamper graphs, but they're not the tamper graphs that will scratch off. So I'm very happy with the material that they use to print those. I do have some issues with it though, and because it's a company's first figure, those are kind of excusable, but the toy basically feels super wibbly in a lot of areas. Like, it's not unstable, but it's a little jarring when you go to handle the toy. Filming this handheld on my phone because I'm currently editing this video and the footage for this portion got corrupted somehow. But when collapsing the shoulders for the truck mode, you want to push right here with your thumb on both sides, because when I first got this out of the box, it was extremely stiff and just would not move. So I had to like push on it real hard until it makes it into its spot, and then you can actually click it into place together. You just gotta push them, and then they become closer together. I can't do this with one hand, it's very difficult. But that's basically what you have to do, is you have to push on those ratchet sections here. They are oiled up a little bit on the inside, like there is a lubricant that they put in there, but it's not the greatest. So what I would recommend doing is, if yours is stiff like mine, disassemble, disassemble the whole torso section to get into there, and then just add like a silicone lubricant or something in there to make this a lot easier, because it is very stiff and difficult right out of the box, especially on my copy. So yeah, once again, you just push here. There we go, to push the shoulder into place. It looks pretty epic though, honestly, with almost any other figure. He just towers over most of them and looks very intimidating. This will always be one of my favorite designs for an evil Transformer, and I'm so happy to see it getting more love now with Fanshobby, the possible Legacy retool from Laser Prime, and him being the next main villain in the live action movies. I'm very excited to see what kind of toys we'll get from that. Overall though, the robot is hella sick and also comes with a sword, which is badass and sharp. However, he doesn't come with a gun. That requires you to buy the trailer add-on, and yeah, that's not happening right now, but the sword is still sick. The trailer does also come with blast effects, an extra head, all the gimmicks that the original toy could do, so it's a lot of cool stuff. I just don't feel like spending 100 Canadian dollars on a cylinder. Posing it is surprisingly good for something this size and this chunky. It's super sturdy once all the loose bits are tightened, and my only posing issue is those shoulder ratchets, and it desperately needs a cape. Boy, would that look fantastic, but Make Toys has got me covered there. Transformation is easy, but it's not necessarily fun, because it's the company's first toy, some of those tolerance problems just become very apparent here. Getting those shoulders in, like I said earlier, is a pain. Sliding the wheel arches down is also a pain, and actually broke one of mine inside, like the assembly inside. So the wheel likes to shift up on its own when I put the truck down. The arms on my copy don't like to stay closed, but it's not that noticeable in truck mode. Also, there are buttons that slide the legs up, so make sure you press them before you slide the legs up, because you don't want to break it. However, if you do break it, Fanshobby's customer service is impeccable, and they'll just send you replacement parts, so there's that. Alt mode is scary. Like, it's a very intimidating truck. I would not want to be next to one of these on the highway, mainly because the side bits stick out way too much, but also because it's an intimidating as hell truck. It's very nice looking. Like, the chrome rims and smokestacks really complement the whole look. That one wheel not staying in place is a bit of an annoyance, and the side bits do stick out too much for my liking. Like, they could have collapsed the arms inside the torso a bit better, but my biggest problem is the back of the truck. So there's this big gap on the back where the legs and torso are, and that's a bit of an eyesore. But because there's nothing structural in there other than two flimsy tabs, it's kind of floppy. And when transporting it or handling it, it does kind of get annoying, especially with how heavy the back is and it's only resting on those two pegs. I don't know how that's going to be over time. So if you pick it up, just cradle the back as well when you go to transport it in truck mode. This is frigging massive too. Like, this angle is my favorite to look at because it's so menacing. And again, the blue pinstriping is super lush. It's so subtle, yet it helps elevate the look that much more. The red windshield also helps bring out that evil look, and it's something I was hoping was going to be on the Rise of the Beast truck, but the Rise of the Beast one still looks really, really good. Have I mentioned this truck is big? Like, it's massive and heavy and massive. It's a very large truck in the end. That's the main thing it's got going for it, is its size. I love it. I definitely think it's a worthy pickup. Yeah, there are some maintenance things you have to do, but it makes for a nice little weekend project, and the look and feel are really great. Yeah, the sword doesn't store anywhere in alt mode, but that's what the trailer's for. I'm so happy to finally have this thing, and I kind of want to get G2 Laser Prime now, the version that they made, but we'll see. It's also not that expensive. I think it's like $90 or $100 on Fanshobby's own website, and then like $110 to $120 everywhere else, which is pretty reasonable for a masterpiece-sized Transformer that's this fucking big. I definitely recommend getting one of these. But that's my look at Fanshobby Scourge. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.